Good.
Hello, this is Barry Wolfe with Marcus and Millichap. I'm joined here on today's episode of Wolfe Bites. I'm really excited, joined by Greg Parsons, who I've met, frankly, here through LinkedIn. We've met personally since that time at a conference. Greg's fantastic on LinkedIn, all over the place on social media. Been with Brookfield Properties for a couple of years and just a great track record in the real estate sector. So, Greg, I appreciate you joining. If you want to kind of give a little bit of background on yourself, that'd be fantastic.
Sure. Barry, appreciate the invite and, looking forward to contributing as any way I can. Really been, I've been in the industry for almost over 20 years now. Started as a assistant marketing director for a couple, strip centers in Cleveland, Ohio, and kind of evolved my way into leasing, property management, back to leasing again, and office leasing and industrial leasing. And so I've been able to kind of touch upon most of this commercial real estate sectors throughout my career. So it's been a whirlwind and a roller coaster ride for sure.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, you made it through the Great Recession. So we got, probably another recession we're dealing with. But so you're one of the top guys in the leasing market, focusing on retail, I guess primarily in Texas. Is that right? Or
correct? Yeah. My focus, I have a niche focus within our group, but yeah, I'm based in Houston, lease 5 malls here in the area,
right.
mostly suburban Houston.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's great. So leasing, malls, Texas, Houston specifically, as part of that. What do your days look like now? So obviously we're working from home. The malls are shut down. I assume that's the case in Texas. Maybe that might be changing here in a matter of days and in Texas and some other markets. But what do your days look like right now? What are you focused on? Trying to keep deals moving forward and otherwise, and kind of what's your focus at the moment? How do you kind of keeping things going?
So my focus has really been maintaining the existing pipeline, and we've been I've been able to get some LOIs signed and get some leases out for signature.
Right.
Over the last 5 weeks, and it's really been just pushing through the existing pipeline. And the prospecting that we're doing is virtual, obviously, for the most part. I have been able to kind of get out in the market and just drive some neighboring real estate and to see who's open and who's not, and just on a normal day, just to try to keep it as normal as possible. But we're moving forward. It's obviously not as fast as we would like. But I think we're still moving forward, even in we'll just call it a very uncertain environment.
Yeah, I equate it to, and I like the way you put it, keep moving forward. I equate to the old adage, or I guess it's fact, that a shark, if they don't swim, they die. And kind of along those lines, we just got to keep moving, keep inching deals forward, keep looking at generating new relationships and new opportunities, and that's really all you can do, is just keep the ball moving forward and rolling down the road.
Yeah, I think relationships within the commercial real estate world, and pretty much in any industry, relationships matter. And I think I've learned over the last 5 weeks how truly important that is.
Right.
Not just within family, but professionally.
Right.
Understanding and maintaining those relationships and just trying to add value to their lives or to their businesses, it's extremely important, in what we're dealing with now.
Agreed. So you've been with, in your background, GGP, now with Brookfield, but with GGP before, Simon Property. So been with several, fantastic retail operators and landlords and owners. Certainly you've been immersed in the mall sector for many years. I'd say there's a lot of talk with retail, but malls specifically. What's your vision of the mall sector looking forward here to the next, as we get out of this? What do you see?
Well, I think with any retail environment, whether you're in a mall or a shop or a strip shopping center, I think it comes down to your specific retailers. And what retail is an emotional experience. Yeah. And an emotional experience, you cannot get that by any virtual means. It's still, even if you're able to do some sort of virtual tours or virtual selling, which I do think is an important aspect for the future of retail, you still can't maintain that connection via screen.
Yeah.
And there's going to be precautions. We're putting precautions in place within our properties to maintain social distancing and trying to maintain direct traffic flow to keep people moving. Or, it's almost, we're almost going to be kind of like directing traffic, similar to what the grocery stores are doing now. You've got one row of traffic coming up one aisle and another row of traffic coming up the different aisle. Well, this has all been kind of thrown on all of us, in a very short period of time. So I think we're doing the best we can with what we have.
Right.
Texas has opened a retail to go policy starting today.
Meaning you can get retail to go, or what does that mean?
Yeah, so it's called retail to go. Basically, they're instituting all stores can reopen.
Okay.
Provided they offer a delivery or curbside service. And that includes not just strip centers, but our malls as well.
Okay.
And so we've had to, dedicate some additional parking areas where that people, where vehicle traffic can come in. We've established a centralized pickup area. The retailer can come put their purchases in the back of the truck, and then the shopper drives off. So these purchases can either be made via social media, online, whatever means necessary. But I think it's a step in the right direction. And what I also think is it's going to give a lot of these local and smaller retailers that didn't have this experience before, it's forcing them to adapt.
Gotcha.
And the more retailers that can adapt to this situation, short-term, even long-term, are going to be extremely successful going forward.
Agreed. We've been an evolving industry. This has accelerated that in reality, but I agree with you. Those that are able to evolve and adapt to the new normal, I think are going to do phenomenal. It's going to do fantastic. Some, frankly, let's be realistic, not all of them will make that adaptation, and some of them will, like evolution teaches us, some of them will perish in reality. So, sorry.
No, sorry. I mean, there's a lot of stories, here locally where, these smaller retailers, local retailers that have maybe one or two stores, their sales have tripled and sometimes quadrupled over 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And because they've been able to adapt, because they've been able to maintain that communication with their customer via through virtual means, and the shoppers love it. They absolutely love it. To buy a gift and have it delivered from your favorite boutique and have it be there by the end of the day with no cost, it's phenomenal.
I've seen the same thing. Some retailers that are just they're doing fantastic. I've talked to a few of them that are literally crushing it right now. And they're the ones that have adapted. And you're right, they came up with ideas. Yeah, frankly, there's some restaurants I'm getting daily texts from. So those that were prepared, not necessarily for this, but they had been evolving and seeing, just the need to evolve, they were ahead of it. Like our friend Jason Ciano, his previous podcast, he talked about future-proof, the brands that future-proofed themselves and prepared for the future, not even necessarily this, they're the ones that are doing well and excelling in spite of this environment.
Yeah, I think the next buzzword is going to be adaptation for the rest of the year.
Right.
Can you adapt? Can you be flexible? How can you maneuver your way down, through the murky waters, we'll say. You're going to reap the rewards very quickly and for a long term.
Absolutely. So you're there in Texas. One last quick question. I always ask anybody from Texas, what's your favorite barbecue place?
Favorite barbecue place is Truth Barbecue.
Okay.
They have two stores. One is in Brenham. Mm-hmm. Brenham's about an hour and a half northwest of Houston, and they've opened another shop here in the Heights area of Houston. And everybody, when they call Houston, they think Killins, and I'm not a Killins guy.
Gotcha.
And I'm very sad that we're not close to them. So whenever we can able to get back out and start driving around some more, that's going to be the first place we go.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining. It's always great connecting with you. You got a ton of insights, and certainly follow Greg on LinkedIn, other social, and hope we get to connect at a conference here before long.
Yeah, Barry, I appreciate the opportunity, and keep doing what you're doing. I've learned so much from you just through LinkedIn and your connections. And, it's just been a very insightful and educational connection for sure. So thank you again.
Thanks so much, Greg. Be well.
Yep, you too.